Hey, I'm Bryon Summers, photographer, artist, and content creator, and welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, you know the deal. Sit back, check out this message, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Before the video starts, I want to give you all, the subscribers, the watchers, the participators, and all the video content, a special thank you, because you all have gotten this channel to the first level of monetization status. That means you can do super chats, you can do super thanks, you can join as well as subscribe. Other features might be access to my store. When I link that, you guys will be able to see things that are on sumsandmore.com. What's the point of all this? What do you get? Well, if you join, we can set up different tiers for you all to be rewarded. Joining might get you access to certain emojis. Joining might also get you access to the print club that we might start, which might include t-shirts or a special print for that month. The tiers will range, and I would also appreciate you all for giving me comments or suggestions for what you might like in your joining options. Super chats are available on live videos and premieres, so when a video goes live or premieres, you can hop into the chat room, participate, ask me questions, chat with other people watching the videos, and if it's something that you like or you just want to donate to the channel, you can basically buy an emoji, and that'll represent a certain dollar amount and help support the channel. All those things can now be possible because of your participation and your help. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for watching and running up the numbers so that we can reach that first tier. There's another tier that we need to get to, and that is the revenue share. So I'm still looking for the subs, I'm still looking for the watches, and that won't be possible without you all. All right, so thank you again. Let's get to this video. So by the title, you should have guessed this video is about my Polaroid collection. It's not an extensive collection, but over the past couple years, I've added a handful of trusted cameras to the arsenal. My first camera was gifted to me at a photographer meetup in New Jersey by Christopher Davis, also known as Dolo Photo on Instagram. The very first camera I owned is the OneStep talking camera. It was released in 1997, takes 600 film, and has a feature to record your voice. Right here.
I want you to say, hey, the boy, hey. Oh, Samaya, you funny person. Cheese for me, cheese for you. Everybody cheese
Or you could record your own.
All right, one more shot.
What made Polaroid think, hey, let's let people record a message on the camera? It's just a novelty now. Other features include a flash that folds down to make the camera kinda compact, but it's still an awkward shape, but it is unique to Polaroid style. To be honest, the design is probably ahead of its time for the 90s. This is the camera that probably gave me the Polaroid bug, Polaroid fever, whatever you want to call it. But after using this for some time, I wanted to get something that was a little more aesthetically pleasing. Which brings me to the SX70. It was my second camera, and I was looking for a cooler design Polaroid camera and learned about this vintage model. It was released in 1972, and I found one on eBay for about $50, so of course I bought it. This was actually a gamble that paid off, and when you buy anything vintage or pre-owned, there's bound to be maintenance issues. If you buy this camera in mint condition or pretty good condition, it's probably going to cost you upwards around $300 to $600, maybe even $1,000. I lucked up and got a pretty good camera for a while. Eventually, I got it serviced and customized. The originals either came in black leather design or brown leather design. The only real downside to this camera is the scarcity of the SX70 film, but you can use 600 film as long as you have a special ND filter that covers the lens or sits on top of the film cartridge. You can check that out on this channel as well. After this camera, I wanted something more reliable, so I got the Now. I love this camera. The body style is an homage to the 1980s boxy design. It was released in 2020 and shoots I-type and 600 film. An LCD circle indicates how much film is in the camera, as well as the flash and exposure compensation. The only downside to this model I can think of is it doesn't have a hole in the bottom for a tripod mount. So you gotta find some place to set it if you wanna get a steady shot or a long exposure. The fourth and most recent camera I've used from Polaroid is the i2. This one might not really be in my collection, but Polaroid lent it to me and I've had it in my rotation for a few months. It was released in 2023 and it has manual capabilities. A larger digital display to indicate what mode you're in, how many shots are left, and how much battery life is left. It can shoot I-type, 600, and SX70 film. If there's a downside to this camera, it's the price tag. But most of the standard cameras on the site now for $150 and lower, the i2 is $600. I'm not expecting the average Polaroid consumer to get this, but it is a great camera. These are all the cameras in my collection that I've shot with, but there's one more that I actually didn't realize was a Polaroid camera. I mean, the name is on the front, so how could I miss it? When I finally figured out what I had, I felt like a Gen Alpha kid seeing a VCR for the first time. The Land Camera 104. This camera was in my grandfather's collection and ended up with me after going through my dad's stuff. To be honest, he probably doesn't even know I have this. I've never shot it, and honestly, I forget how to open it up sometimes. Pull this lever up, and you pull the accordion out, and there you have it. It takes Type 100 film. The camera was $60 when it was released in 1963, but now one pack of film with 10 shots can go for $160. It's discontinued and hard to find, but available on Amazon and eBay, Etsy, and maybe some specialty locations. It also takes a 3-volt battery, which might also be obscure to find now, and it came with a cover to protect the lens from dust and scratches. But this camera seems to be in pretty good condition. I've never used it, but maybe that's a $200 video for another day. So there it is, my Polaroid camera collection. It's a modest collection, but nonetheless, it's a start. I do have a few in my wish list that I'd like to get, like the Polaroid 600 SE, where you can change the lenses and shoot fully manual. The Spectra, which is a little bit wider than the normal dimensions, but they no longer make the film for it. But you can find it obviously on Amazon and Etsy. I would also love to try out a large format Polaroid camera that shoots 8x10 sheets. Polaroid sells film, but not large format cameras. While putting together this video, I came across a camera made by the Intrepid brand. The body is about $600, but you still need to buy other parts like the lenses, shutters, and the film holders. You would also need to have a tripod for this camera since it's so large. Other versions of Polaroid cameras that I like to have mainly differ in aesthetic versus function. If I'm collecting Polaroid Nows or 600s, it would be for the different brand collabs like Basquiat, Star Wars, Snoopy, or even the Barbie designs. It's just a different colorway, same function. Here's an idea. If you'd like to see me review and discuss any of the cameras I mentioned, give this video a super thanks. And we'll use that towards purchasing or renting the gear to review. I hope this video entertained, informed, and maybe inspired you to up your Polaroid collection and go out and shoot a couple packs. If you need any film or are thinking about making a purchase on Polaroid.com, you can use my link in the description. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more alerts on videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.